It's time for a little sit-down chat to talk about Pepper, the 54 Chevy pickup truck. So you've seen in some videos, we got it on the road. We had to do suspension. We had to put a gas tank in it. A couple other things, some lights. We converted it from 6 volt to 12 volt. Did a variety of things. We put some seat belts in it, got the seat covered, and just been driving this thing around. It's been a blast, and it's been a pickup truck, but the downside is that when you get that thing on the interstate and you get it up to 55 miles an hour, the thing feels like it's gonna just drive off the road. It's got a little bump steer, but the bump steer is not too bad with the new shocks on there. But the engine's just whining. It's got the original 6-speed. It's got 3 on the tree, so 3-speed transmission, the Muncie 3-speed transmission. And the thing is just working hard. And you've got the precarious times when you're driving down the street, you go to shift into second gear, and you realize that it's popped out of gear and it's stuck. So what do? You have to put on the hazards. You got to pull over wherever you can, try and limp it in first gear, pop the hood, turn the truck off, move the little shift linkage real quick on the gearing, and then you're good to go. Pop back in, but it's just not the safest thing to do. So from a reliability perspective, I'm looking at potentially changing the transmission out. So I wanted to do something that was maybe 4-speed, gave me a little bit more like an overdrive gear. That would be nice, but typically with what I've been looking at, I'd have to get another drive shaft built. Or some people will change out the rear axle, put an S10 4-wheel drive axle on it, which is great, but because this has the enclosed drive shaft, you have to change the drive shaft. Then you could put like a T5 transmission in, which again, then you get a transmission and a drive shaft. Some people do rear gears. In the end, you're going to talk, hundreds of dollars, between $600 and $800 for parts is what I've seen to get this thing to run at a highway gear with a little bit more reliability on the shifting. Keep in mind, we're still running original drum brakes all the way around. That front axle is a stiff front axle. Anyway, all things combined, as I've been looking, I found a Chevy S10. That's right, I'm going to the dark side. I'm going to do the frame swap. So I found an S10. It's an 86 S10, and that S10 we have deemed the green monster here in the house. And so this S10 is going to offer a quality front suspension. It's got a V6 in it, a 2.8 V6 that I might or might not keep. It's got a 700 R4 or a 4L60. It's probably a 700 R4 transmission, but it's an 86, a 1986. It's made to be on the interstate. It's made to be driven around. It's a light duty truck. I'm not planning on towing a bunch of stuff or doing a bunch of craziness with this thing anyway. So it seems like a good project to do. It seems like a good swap to do. It gives me power brakes, a variety of things that I would not get by just switching a transmission or a rear end. So the next part of this video is going to be taking a look at getting the Green Monster. I picked it up. I had it. It hadn't been driven in like 13 years. So I just had him put it on a truck and trailer it out here, drop it off in the alley, and so you'll see kind of an original picture, and then we'll kind of take it from there and get into how we got that thing on the road. The goal is to get the Green Monster on the road first, driving, functional, because I want to use a bunch of the parts, and then start looking at parting it out. What do I need to do from a frame swap kit or anything like that? And so that's the next part of this project. So stick around, we'll take you on the journey, and here's some shots of the Green Monster. See ya.